Hello and welcome inside the Convocation Center on the campus of California University of Pennsylvania, as tonight we're getting set for the last regular season matchup of the women's basketball season, as it's between the Edinboro Fighting Scots and the California Vulcans. Hello everybody, my name is Damon Matson. I will be covering the action for you here tonight. Let's take a look at the last games for these two teams. Of course, California coming off a win this past Saturday up in Mercyhurst, 65-51. Their second of back-to-back victories in Erie, and then Edinboro also coming off a pretty dominant victory, 80-67 over Seton Hill. So both those teams hoping to carry the momentum into tonight's basketball game. In the last game between these two games, back on January 20th, it was the last loss for this California Vulcans women's team, as Edinboro won 73-54 pretty dominantly in that matchup. So California, I'm sure, looking to end the season on a win and also revenge that loss against Edinboro last time around. So we'll take a look then at the tail of the tape between these two basketball teams, as again, it's pretty interesting to keep an eye on the stats. Of course, California is going to try to go up against that last loss and try to get a win here. And a win, by the way, for the Vulcans tonight would secure them solidly in that first spot in the playoffs for sure. They'd have the first seed, and as they would go along here through the playoffs, they would get games at home. There's the tail of the tape, as you can see right there. These two teams are actually pretty even across the stat sheets for the most part as you go down the line. And Edinboro actually gets more turnovers per game than the Vulcans do. And the Vulcans tend to get a lot of turnovers and get points off those turnovers. So that'll be an interesting stat to keep watching. And of course, that last graphic there, we had a little bit of an error on that file. That's why we saw a lot of those different digits and numbers as we go across. And just to note before we start this game, it is senior night, as Paige Wright is the lone senior for this Vulcans team playing tonight. As you see earlier on, just before this game was starting, Paige Wright got honored here at the Convocation Center for her accomplishments all throughout her career on the California women's team. So it's very nice to see her honored, and she is going to be one of our starting five tonight as well for the Vulcans. It's Paige Wright, Shatara Parsons, Sierra Barrett, Mickey Glenn, and Precious Martin going for the Vulcans this evening here on senior night. And again, the Vulcans got a lot to play for, even though they are pretty well locked up in the playoffs. They're going to get a first round bye, but nonetheless, big game here tonight as we got the tip set, and it is won. A little bit of scrum right there, right off the bat, won by the Vulcans as Mickey Glenn picks it up and brings it up the court. So she'll set it up and quickly underneath to Sierra Barrett. Layup attempt, no good. Rebounded by Shatara Parsons. Her shot's no good and taken out of bounds, but it's going to be Edinboro's ball last off the Vulcans. So right there, as you can see, the Vulcans really trying to start out at a fast pace and get the first score of this game. Of course, Edinboro really wanted to get out in front. And Wednesday night, by the way, it's a Wednesday night basketball game, and the reason why I am announcing here by myself is because of the fact that we have a couple guys down with sicknesses, and we're trying our best to give you the broadcast any way we can. As you see right there, Edinboro making their first basket of the night. That is Katie Fisher sinking that. Now the Vulcans try to answer back. You see Sierra Barrett tries to pass to Paige Wright and gets it way up near half court, and Mickey Glenn tries to save it, but it's going to go out of bounds. So the Vulcans trying to find their sync on offense, try to get it all synced up and really get to rolling on that. So Edinboro is going to inbound it here, and bringing up the court is Lauren Hippo. She is one of the main offensive threats on this team, as that one's almost stolen away by Mickey Glenn as it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Edinboro, so good job right there. Mickey Glenn trying to do her best to swing the momentum just a little bit, as Edinboro's come out fairly strong in this one here tonight. This is Mickey Glenn bringing it up off the inbound, straight to the basket. Her layup attempt no good, rebounded by Parsons. She fights around. Actually, that was Precious Martin right there that had it. I apologize. She's going to lose the ball as it goes out of bounds. Edinboro going to get possession. Good physical play there, too, by Precious Martin underneath the basket, doing her best to try to get that rebound in. Bringing it up, Edinboro has it. This is Hippo. Hippo guarded by Precious Martin, drives straight to the basket for a layup. A little too strong, rebounded right there by the Vulcans. Mickey Glenn now gives it over to Paige Wright, the senior on the team tonight, being honored. Now the Vulcans are going to settle this down just a little bit. Parsons has it. Down underneath, Paige Wright was open. Her layup attempt, no good. Rebounded by Edinboro. And the Vulcans just can't seem to get anything to fall just yet. A lot of these layup attempts are fairly strong coming on both sides. Here's an open shot for Lauren Hippo for three. No good, and rebounded by the Vulcans. Well, this is Mickey Glenn. Little spin move right there. Finds Barrett, then Parsons. The ball swatted out of her hands. We're going to get a whistle right here, and we'll get our first foul of the evening. This is going to be against Edinboro, and that is against Katie Fisher. She caught a little bit of the hand right there. So this will send Precious Martin to the basket for 2 shots, as that was a shooting foul against Edinboro. And her first shot is up and good, so the Vulcans finally on the board. Precious Martin shooting 76.3% from the free throw stripe this season. Her second shot attempt is good, so Precious Martin, Vulcans can't get anything going so far from the field, but they'll take those foul shots to get on the board and get themselves rolling on offense. This is Edinboro bringing it up, and it is stolen away right there by Mickey Glenn. 2-on-1 in favor of Edinboro going down the court. Mickey Glenn drives to the basket anyway. We'll get a foul call right here, as that is going to be against Edinboro as well, and also against Katie Fisher. Already has 2 fouls on the evening. She didn't quite have her feet set, as Mickey Glenn just aggressively driving to the basket, as she likes to do right there. And she is one player you do not want to send to the free throw stripe if you are Edinboro throughout this game, as she makes her first one. Mickey Glenn shooting a 90% from the free throw stripe this season. And we have a sub coming in for Edinboro as well here. Katie Fisher subs out in favor of Nicole Johnson, who is on the court, as Mickey Glenn gets her second to fall. So the Vulcans 4 points so far tonight, all off of free throws. Bringing this up is Whitney Allen. As she loses control, she tries to throw a pass over to the far side. It goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Vulcans, so Edinboro will retain possession, but not the best choice of pass there, as Edinboro is trying to find their rhythm as well on offense. You see Coach Strom and her assistants trying to line up the Vulcans defense a little bit there on the sideline. This inbounds is also errant, and it's going to be picked up by the Vulcans. So Edinboro turning the ball over early on. Paige Wright for 3. No good, rebounded by Edinboro, and they'll quickly come up the court. This is Hippo. Slowing things down a bit. She thought about going to the basket, but decided against it. This pass is down low to Freeland. She throws a layup up, and it is good. Agni Freeland with her first 2 points of the night. And that is pretty much what they did exclusively a month and a half ago in that defeat of the Vulcans. So California, I'm sure, trying to defend against that. Mickey Glenn shooting for 3 from long distance. No good. Picked up by Precious Martin and thrown back out. And she'll get a fresh shot clock right there, as that shot hit the rim. Sierra Barrett and Paige Wright playing catch a little bit. She'll go back over here. That one for Parsons, and she gets 2 to fall. Shatara Parsons pulling up for 2, giving the Vulcans the lead once again, as we have 6:46 on the clock. Vulcans up 6-4. This is Edinboro. Dribbling around right there is Allen. She is guarded well by Precious Martin. Gets it down low to Freeland. Her shot a little too strong. Rebounded by Edinboro. Pass back up. It's stolen by Paige Wright. Mickey Glenn gets over half court and then decides to slow it down. And this is over to Parsons, who shoots for 2 once again. No good. Rebounded by Sierra Barrett. She came out of nowhere to pick up that rebound. Unbelievable, as she was falling down as well, getting that pass back out to Mickey Glenn. Now Glenn giving it to Parsons. Tries to guard her, give her an open look for 3, but she decides to dribble in for 2, and it is good. Shatara Parsons now has 4 points. The last 4 are all hers for the Vulcans. Now this is Edinboro right here. Allen trying to dribble down towards the basket. Can't find an open lane. Passes it underneath to Freeland. Her shot no good, and rebounded by the Vulcans. So good defense right now so far for California, as they've gotten a lot of these rebounds. Sierra Barrett gives it down low to Parsons, and is she on fire or what? The last 6 points going her way. Vulcans opening this up just a little bit, now up 10-4. And now Whitney Allen controlling it, gives it over to Yawn. Yawn gives it over to Hippo. Hippo guarded by Martin. Back over to Allen. Shot clock down to 8 seconds. Right there is Yawn, still has it. She's trying to find a lane. She's got to hurry up here. It's shot clock down to 1. There's a wild shot given up, but they're going to blow it dead anyway, as that was a shot clock violation. Just solid lockdown defense for California. And they're going to get the turnover once again and get the ball back on offense. And as we move along here, we just saw those last 6 points for California has gone to Shatara Parsons. I'm sure they're going to try to want to feed her the rock just a little bit more as we move along through this game. She seems like she is locked in tonight. Mickey Glenn driving to the basket, a little floater just off the inside of the rim and out. Rebounded by Edinboro. This is Fisher with it. Again, she already has 2 quick fouls in this contest. She was taken out for just a little bit because of that. Drives to the basket, hands it off, and a pass back out. And it is no good. That shot right there by Yawn, and there's going to be a whistle right there. She was knocked down. That is going to be a foul against the Vulcans. And that's against Sierra Barrett, as we'll reach our first media timeout here in this matchup. And we're going to take a look at the regional rankings now and how important these are to tonight's matchup. And these just came out this afternoon. There is the regional rankings throughout the Atlantic. You see California right there sitting at 3rd in that rankings. And then, of course, Edinboro as well. 19-8 coming into this game. They are not to be discounted. And they are 10th in that ranking, so you can see how it's all spread out. A lot of Eastern teams out there. Of course, IUP is ranked up there as well. But again, it's mostly this. That's how important this matchup is, though. California and Edinboro in the top 10 of those regional rankings in the Atlantic. And Edinboro just got moved into the top 10 just today, again, as we saw these rankings come out. And we're going to take a look then at some of the highlights we've seen throughout this game. And of course, Edinboro coming out with a lot of good momentum to start this. They got 4 quick points off of the easy layup and also the shot that we showed just earlier, but the Vulcans aren't letting it go. They got their first 4 points off of free throw attempts, and after that, things just really heated up for Shatera Parsons. She has the last 6 points on the night for California, as she has done a tremendous job shooting so far. So California pretty much using the momentum in their favor, and especially the turnovers. You know, they've created a couple of turnovers on defense so far tonight. And of course, Edinboro's tried to force a few things, a shot clock violation. So California really putting the pressure on early. And now we'll see, of course, going to the line is Yawn, as she was fouled, going up for a 3-point shot attempt. Lucky for the Vulcans, that shot was no good, as her first does fall through. And she is sitting at 72.9% from the free throw stripe. And that one goes through as well. So 2 quick points for her. And her third is also good. So 3 straight free throws made right there for Edinboro. And they've cut the lead down to 3. Mickey Glenn will bring it up now for the Vulcans. Pass it over to Paige Wright. Wright dribbling it around the key, gives it down low. Now Parsons she's guarded by 2 defenders, has to quickly get rid of it. Shot clock down to 8, she goes straight to the basket. And can she do no wrong? Another 2 points for another layup. 8 on the evening already for Shatera Parsons. Bringing this up the court is Fisher for Edinboro. Pass it to Yawn. Yawn driving straight to the basket. But we are going to get a whistle right here, and that's going to be a foul against Edinboro, I believe, as it was Sierra Barrett underneath the basket, kept her feet planted. And she drew the foul right there against Edinboro, so Yawn gets her first foul on the night. And that's 3 already in this first quarter for Edinboro, as we're down to 3:53 left in the quarter. Mickey Glenn is going to bring it up now for the Vulcans, tries to set everything up the way she likes it. Passes it over to Barrett. Barrett controls, gives it over to Martin. Martin back over on the far side to Wright. She steps back for 3, and it is good. The senior Paige Wright gets her first points of the evening as she gets the 3-point shot to fall. What she does best right there, steps back and takes the open look when she can get it. Now this is Lauren Hippo. Thought about it, drives around, guarded well by Sierra Barrett, passes it back over to Fisher. Fisher, ball tipped a little bit by Glenn. She spins and goes straight to the basket. Way too much on that shot. It's no good. Rebounded by California as they quick up. Parsons pass it over to Barrett, who is open for the easy layup, and California on a little bit of a roll right now, up by 10 points. Sierra Barrett, Shatera Parsons has been usually a force down beneath the basket, and they're showing their game also in the transition side of things, getting up the court quickly and finding the open player for the layup. That time, of course, Sierra Barrett was the one to get the points. It's now Edinboro trying to find a way to score. This shot is up and no good right there by Maggie Moore, and California will rebound it. Glenn quickly tries to go down beneath to Precious Martin, but that is going to go out of bounds. So we're going to have 3 substitutions now for Edinboro. I'll try to track some of these numbers. I know Whitney Allen's going to get onto the court, as well as Agni Freeland. Try to catch, also on the far side there, Lindsay Yawn as well, the sibling of Michelle Yawn on the court. California inbounds it. Parsons has a shot off the rim for 2, no good, so Edinboro picks it up and drives back up the court. Now they're going to pass far side right here to Yawn. Just subbed in. She dribbles right around everybody, and that ball is going to go out of bounds, but it was tipped by a California defender, so Edinboro will keep possession. That is Lindsay Yawn right there, the junior for Edinboro, the older of the siblings between Michelle Yawn and Lindsay. Michelle is a freshman, and that inbounds is intercepted right there by the Vulcans. Bringing it up, Mickey Glenn gives it to Sierra Barrett. Back over, Precious Martin tried to give a little jab step and then go to the basket, but they're going to call her for a travel. So a quick turnover against the Vulcans right there. And just a little bit of movement off that plant foot right there. And the referee, of course, standing just beside her. Easy call to pick up right there. So unfortunate turnover for the Vulcans. Now this is Edinboro with it. Gives it over. Sharp has it. That's tipped out of the hands of Fisher right there by Parsons. Those long arms do help her out on defense. We're going to get another whistle right here. And it looks like we're going to have a foul against California right here. That was a foul away from the ball. That was Shatara Parsons right there, taking her first. So Edinboro getting set to inbound it. They do. They get it over to Allen. Allen gives it over right there to Fisher. Her shot no good. Rebounded by California. Sierra Barrett hands off. Quick up right here. Precious Martin. What a spin move. Straight to the basket. Precious Martin. Unbelievable stuff right there. Just slick move right around her defender as they were trying to steal that away from her. Going for the layup, and she gets on the board as well. Now this is dribbled up and taken right to the basket, but swatted away by Sierra Barrett. Talk about 2 tremendous plays in a row. Precious Martin going straight to the basket for the layup, and Sierra Barrett playing monster defense. We'll take a look at that on the replay. That right there was Whitney Allen going to the basket, and Sierra Barrett just picks up that she was going right there, and she knew she had the lane to do it. Swatted that ball away. This inbounded by Allen, pretty close here by the announcer's table. As Fisher has it. Guarded by Sierra Barrett, dribbling around, goes towards the far side, and that's a bank shot right off the back of the glass. It's good for 2 as Edinboro has their first points in a little while. This pass is down low. Sierra Barrett just loses the handle, but gets it right back and back out to Mickey Glenn. Good idea right there, not to lose the handle and try something a little too quickly. Precious Martin down low. Sierra Barrett thought about shooting, but she gives it back out to Paige Wright and back over to Glenn. Down the baseline, going straight to the basket. With that layup, she gets the roll, and Mickey Glenn just adding to this lead. California up 21-9 as we were just about 40 seconds away from the end of the first quarter. Katie Fisher trying to give Edinboro. They will not be able to hold for last possession. 10-second difference between shot and game clock. Fisher pulling up for 2. Nice little floater. She now has 6 points on the evening. So now California definitely can't hold for last possession. About 15 seconds remain. Mickey Glenn trying to set up a play right here. Sierra Barrett pass it back up to Glenn. She drives to the basket, pulls up for 2, and it is good. Mickey Glenn honing her archery skills right there. That one is going to go up, and it is no good, as Edinboro can't get that last shot to fall. So we'll take our first break of the game as we are ending the first quarter. California in command, 23-11.
With CalU's 6 on-campus residence halls and Vulcan Village's garden-style apartment complex, University Housing offers the very best value in service, convenience, privacy, and security. On-campus students will have easy access to classrooms, the newly renovated Natali Student Center, and a variety of activities across campus. University Housing Properties includes all utilities. Other common amenities to all properties are fully furnished rooms, high-def cable TV, high-speed Wi-Fi access, and live-in professional staff. Vulcan Village also includes a full kitchen and laundry room. The property has a 24/7 fitness center, convenient shuttle service, and an outdoor seasonal saltwater pool. Model rooms and tours are available. Stop in the University Housing Office or contact us by phone or email to learn more.
And welcome back inside the Convocation Center here on the campus of California University of Pennsylvania. And you can see we have a young lady in the crowd. It is her birthday today. She is holding up a sign, so she may be a future Vulcan. We don't know, but we'd like to wish her a happy birthday nonetheless. And she's seeing a pretty good basketball game so far, as through the first quarter, California in really decent command of this game, up 23-11. So definitely a good start for the Vulcans, as I'm sure they wanted to come out with a lot of fire after that last loss they ever had this season back on January the 20th was against this Edinboro squad. California with the inbounds. Mickey Glenn for an open three look, and from downtown, Mickey Glenn is on fire. She now has 9 on the evening. This is Edinboro bringing it up now. Is that right there? It's sharp down low, and that shot is good for Freeland, as she was found underneath the basket wide open. And now the pass is gathered back in by California after a little bit of a miscue right there. Almost lost control of it and turned it back over to Edinboro. Now Mickey Glenn trying to set up the offense, figure something out right here. Dribbles around here on the near side, spinning around still against 2 defenders, and she is fouled, and her shot falls. So Mickey Glenn being aggressive, going straight to the basket, and she gets the chance to shoot a couple of more. And that foul right there is on Lindsay Yawn, and that was some great concentration by Mickey Glenn, as she just found her way to the basket and was able to get there. So now we'll see Mickey Glenn go to the foul line, and right there we saw Sierra Barrett is on that last play. It looked like she might have got hit in the mouth by an elbow or a free hand. So she went to the bench, and they're going to check her out for any possible blood or any, injury at all. So hopefully she's okay, and we might see her back on the court soon, as Mickey Glenn, of course, made her free throw attempt. So Edinboro has a large deficit right now to overcome, 29-13 in favor of California. Lauren Hippo gives it over to Freeland, back over to Fisher, guarded by Parsons. And this pass down low, shot up, and that is good right there for Nicole Johnson, as she gets her first 2 points of the evening. Now Mickey Glenn gives it over. Precious Martin driving to the basket, a little bit of a kiss off the backboard, but it doesn't fall, so Edinboro going to bring it back up. Overall, the California offense having a good showing so far tonight, as we'll see a whistle right here. We're going to get a foul called, and that one's going to go against California, and that's going to be against Precious Martin, her first of the night. That'll be the first team foul, of course, of the quarter. And the new rules, of course, this season dictate that 5 team fouls will send the opposing team to the line from there on out, no matter what the foul per quarter, as that shot is up by Fisher. No good, rebounded by the Vulcans. This is Mickey Glenn giving it over Sierra Barrett, who does a little bit of a sidestep, and they're going to call her for a travel right there. She faked the shot and then decided to go to the basket. She pretty much looked like she had her foot planted, so second travel call against the Vulcans tonight. Now Katie Fisher brings it up for Edinboro. Guarded well, 3 Vulcans right around her, and this is going to be stolen away by the new Vulcan on the court. Morgan Jennings goes straight to the basket and gets her layup to fall. Morgan Jennings making an impact right off the bat to start this second quarter. Didn't even see her sneak on the court there as we changed over quarters. She came in as one of the 5 to start out the second quarter. Now Lauren Hippo dribbling, trying to find a lane, can't find it. And we're going to get a whistle right here, as there's going to be another foul called. And this is going to go against Morgan Jennings. She pushed off the back right there of the Edinboro player. That was Lauren Hippo, of course, controlling the ball for Edinboro. We'll get a substitution. She will come off the court right now for Edinboro. There's the inbound. It's stolen away once again. Morgan Jennings has it. She falls down, and there is no foul called on the play. She looked like she might have been tripped up right there, but the refs didn't see any contact. They did last say it went off an Edinboro player, though, so California will retain possession. You can see Coach Strom wondering as well what just happened on that play, why there wasn't a foul called. Nonetheless, we'll have the inbounds as Sierra Barrett's going to take the shot for two. It is no good, and this ball is going to go out of bounds. Last touch by Edinboro. That's a fresh shot clock as well, as it hit the rim that time. You can see Edinboro's coach as well trying to figure out what's going on exactly, getting a little bit of an extra explanation, and that's Stan Swink, a legendary coach in the PSAC up at Edinboro, as that one is blocked down, that shot by Sierra Barrett, so Edinboro bring it back up the court. This is brought up, and it's also stolen away by the Vulcans. That time, that was Fisher getting knocked down. No foul called either. California brings it up. Paige Wright for three. Just didn't get the bounce right there as it rimmed in and out. And this one's passed right back up. And two Vulcans fly right past. That is Vaughn, who 2 shots in a row don't go for her, and California keeps possession of the ball. Just couldn't get the shot to fall right there. A crazy sequence of events. She had that ball wide open going to the basket, and as she was waiting to take the shot, she let 2 Vulcan defenders fly right past her. She missed the first shot and missed the second shot. Just bad fortunes right there as the Vulcans don't pay for their turnover at the opposite end of the court. Sierra Barrett has it right at the foul stripe for a shot for 2, and she makes that just like she had nobody defending her at all. California out in commanding fashion right now, 33-15. We have 6:20 remaining in this first half. Right now, this is Vaughn dribbling to the basket, guarded well by 2 defenders, and that shot goes off the bottom of the backboard. Collected in by Glenn, passed up to Wright. Oh, a little miscommunication right there. She thought she'd have Parsons waiting on the near side, but it goes out of bounds as she was driving to the basket as well. So Edinboro will get possession right back, as we have yet another sub, actually 2 subs coming in for Edinboro. We saw Whitney Allen get back on the court, and Shania Sharp as well coming back on the court. So Edinboro just trying the best they can to cycle their players and figure out a recipe to get back into this game, as California's really exploded on the offense and locked things down on the defense. This one's given over to Yawn, who dribbles around. The freshman trying to find an open lane. She can't, and turns it right over to Sierra Barrett. Mickey Glenn gives it over. Paige Wright for the open 3. Again, just goes in and out of the basket. She can't get the shot to fall, and she can't believe it. Sierra Barrett collected the rebound and got fouled. Actually, there is no foul on the play. I apologize. The ball went out of bounds, so Edinboro is going to keep possession of the ball, as that last touched Sierra Barrett. So Edinboro is going to bring it up the court. This is Fisher. Gives it over to Sharp. Gives it back over to Fisher, but it's stolen away by Sierra Barrett. Read that play beautifully as she takes it herself straight to the basket for 2. She now has 6 points on the evening. This is the kind of basketball you expect from the Vulcans. They take those turnovers and turn them right into points in a quick transition-like game. Whitney Allen has it, guarded well by Sierra Barrett. She passes down low to Freeland. The big body underneath for Edinboro as she gets her shot to fall for 2. Still, though, California up very strong in this one. Sierra Barrett thought about shooting, but passes it right back out to Mickey Glenn. Jennings has it, gives it over to Barrett. Gives it over to Glenn, open look for 3. No good, rebounded by Parsons. Fresh shot clock, and she has it stolen away, but they're gonna say jump ball, and that possession is gonna favor California. And off of that whistle, we're gonna reach our second media timeout of this contest. And the reason this game is so important is we talked about the regional rankings. Now let's go to the PSAC West standings. Again, California right now in that top spot at 17-4. Edinboro right there at 14-7. And this game is very important because California needs to win this contest. And if Edinboro finishes third, we would finish second. So we definitely need to win this contest. It would give California home court advantage throughout. They already are guaranteed a bye, but a win or again a win with a California loss would guarantee California would get the first seed in this one. So a lot of different scenarios going on with this one, and we'll have to just wait and see. But right now, it looks decent because California is out to such a commanding lead. And here are some of the highlights to show that. Again, California started out on a little bit of a roll with the free throws and then the layups and the two-point shots for Shatera Parsons. But since then, they've opened up a little bit, gone for the three-point attempts. Mickey Glenn's done a good job with her layup attempts, and things have started to go their way. And Sierra Barrett also contributing a little bit to that as well. And just a little bit of stats for you here as we've gone throughout this game. Some of the point leaders for the Vulcans, Shatera Parsons and Sierra Barrett, and as well Precious Martin, all have 6 points across the board. And then, of course, Mickey Glenn, the one that's on fire tonight so far, as there she is on our camera. She has 12, as she has gotten a couple of free throw attempts, taken some three-point shots that have fallen, and she just finds those open looks and goes ahead to take them when she can. And now we have a little bit of a stoppage right now, as there is the head trainer, it looks like, for the Vulcans. There's a little bit of something spilled on the court, and it looks like these are actually Band-Aids, as back when Sierra Barrett was getting tended to on the sideline, they wanted to tend to her, and as she was coming back up the court, back onto the court, they were taking care of what might have gotten spilled or was on the court right there. So a little bit of a delay, but we start back to action right now as Sierra Barrett herself, just talking about her drives to the basket, and gets her own rebound off the missed shot attempt. So fresh shot clock for the Vulcans right here. Mickey Glenn gives it over to Sierra Barrett. Back over to Paige Wright. Wright. And we're gonna get a whistle right here, as there's gonna be a foul away from the ball. Sierra Barrett is gonna get called for her second of the night. And she was playing pretty physically right there against Edinboro, and the referee on the far side close to the ref's table called that one. And now we'll get a timeout here by Edinboro off of that foul, as they got set to be ready to inbound that. So they're gonna try to get everything put together to try to make a comeback here in the last 4:14 of this first half. And let's take a look now here at the team leaders, starting with Edinboro. Of course, you can see there Freeland leading them in scoring and rebounding. And then, of course, we flip it over to California. Quickly there, came up on the sheet, but of course, Mickey Glenn pretty much leads in the categories right there. There we can see it. Mickey Glenn leading in all but rebounding. That is Sierra Barrett. She tends to get quite a few rebounds, especially on the defensive side of the ball, and then swing it over to the offensive side as well. You could say Sierra Barrett, Shatera Parsons, the combination, Precious Martin even really helping in that category. So Edinboro bringing it up the court. Katie Fisher guarded well against the Vulcans, but she goes straight down in, and Mickey Glenn comes down and over top of her back right there, knocks the ball out of her hands. That was all ball as well. Unbelievable play, but they are going to say, we're actually going to get a whistle here, and I'm trying to figure out what exactly happened. But either way, Edinboro is going to keep control of the ball. And it's going to be kicked away right off of Paige Wright's foot right there, as a fan has to chuck that ball back in to the court. And you can't keep those as in D2 basketball if you're a fan watching the game and one flies up into the stands. So they'll have to give that back. Edinboro has it now. Whitney Allen straight to the basket. She is knocked down right there as she ran right into Mickey Glenn. She comes up a little bit. Oh, she's smiling. She looks pretty good. She looked like she was getting up there a little bit slow, but she is laughing that one off, as that's going to be a charging foul charged against Whitney Allen. Second time we've seen Edinboro get a charging foul tonight. So just great defense right there by Mickey Glenn. She has it, dribbles right around her defender, trying to handle the ball right there. Just putting a clinic on down the baseline. Paige Wright shot, no good, rebounded by Precious Martin. Her shot's no good, and rebounded by Edinboro. It's brought up by Fisher. Fisher dribbling it, trying to find an open lane. It's found right there, and that shot right there by Freeland is good. She now has 8 on the evening to lead Edinboro in the scoring category. About 3:05 remaining in this first half. Mickey Glenn again losing the handle on that dribble as she turns it over to Edinboro. We're off the court. Fisher dropped straight to the basket against Paige Wright, a little too strong. Rebounded by Freeland, and she gets the lucky roll. Agni Freeland, the first to double digits for the Fighting Scots. Parsons quickly up from Mickey Glenn. Her shot is no good, and nobody was underneath the basket that time for the Vulcans. That play developed very quickly. So that will give Edinboro the ball right back as they're starting to get on a little bit of a roll here. Now Fisher guarded well by Paige Wright, and she is going to have to call a timeout as she had nowhere to go with that ball. So Edinboro using 2 timeouts here in this second quarter. And they have started to gain a little bit of traction as well. That last timeout, they were down by roughly about 17 points, and after that last timeout, they have come out scoring quite a few points to try to bring this back. As we take a look right there, they have the pep band in the building tonight for the Vulcans game. So stay tuned later on tonight for the men's basketball game. It is Coach Bill Brown's last game as a Vulcan coach, and he's been around for quite some time. So we hope to see a bunch of fans in the building tonight. And if you can tune in on CUTV to watch his final game coaching the Vulcans, it is a tremendous honor to send him off here on CUTV. And there he is sitting in the stands just to the side of Edinboro's bench, taking in the action as well. I'm sure he is also taking the chance to reflect a little bit on his career and enjoy the memories with some great people around this California university. So off the inbound, 6 to shoot. Edinboro's gonna have to hurry this up a little bit off the timeout. Gives it over. Lauren Hippo, a long shot for 3 is no good. It's tipped and rebounded by California. A little bit of a back and forth between Edinboro and California trying to skip possession. Bringing it up is Glenn, and she is gonna be fouled as she went to the basket. And we'll see who it's gonna go against here in just a second. And that's gonna go against Katie Fisher. So she now has 3 fouls on the evening. She's quickly getting up into foul trouble. And they are not gonna say this was a shooting foul, so Mickey Glenn is going to have to inbound this for the Vulcans, as she's actually tying her shoe right now, trying to get everything back in order. She might have gotten tangled up a little too much there off of that foul. Inbounded to Precious Martin. She finds an open way to the basket, and she's fouled as well. That was an over-the-back foul against Maggie Moore. She was trying to knock the ball right out of her hands as she went for the shot. That was her first foul of the night, and the 4th team foul against Edinboro. So now 1 more, and that'll send California to the bonus. As Precious Martin gets some shots off the shooting foul right there, and her first does fall, giving California a 15-point lead as we see a substitution. Katie Fisher does sub out after she now has 3 fouls, and subbing back in for her is Lindsay Yawn. And the shot right there is no good on the second one for Precious Martin. And Edinboro will bring this back up. Hippo over to Yawn, back to Hippo, and then down low to Freeland, who goes straight to the basket. And she has just been a force underneath for Edinboro so far. 12 on the evening. And they seem to always find her open, or at least enough to get a pass down low to her so far. Glenn gives it over to Wright, over to Martin, back out to Wright. And she finds an open look for 3. It's an air ball as it goes out of bounds. And that will be Edinboro's ball. 1:24 left in this first half. Edinboro, as Lauren Hippo bringing it up against Mickey Glenn, doing what she normally does, charges to the basket, finds Freeland once again as that ball is swatted away by Parsons, but they're gonna blow the whistle right there. And they're gonna call a foul against Mickey Glenn right there, her first of the night. It should have been called against Parsons right there. She's the one that went up to swat that away, but they decided to call it against Glenn, as Freeland's first free throw is good. She's shooting just about 70% on the season. And again, 6'3" underneath that basket, one of the bigger players on the court in this matchup. Her second shot, no good, rebounded by the Vulcans. It's Mickey Glenn. Tries to dribble around, she does right there, pulls up for two. Her shot's no good, rebounded by Edinboro. Now Lauren Hippo, just about 50 seconds left in this first half. Give it down to Freeland once again, her shot no good. We'll get another whistle right here. And that is too many steps right there, as it was a travel called against Freeland, as she once again just trying to find her path to the basket and get a layup attempt. So we have about 14 seconds between shot and game clock right here, about 15 actually. So California can't quite hold for last possession. As Mickey Glenn gets around, no foul called right there. Shot by Precious Martin, in and out, no good, rebounded by Edinboro. That should have very easily been a call against Edinboro, as Mickey Glenn got an arm wrapped right around her neck, basically, as she tried to dribble around right there. Now Michelle Yawn has it, trying to dribble around Parsons, as Edinboro can't hold for last possession. She finally gets around her. Layup attempt, no good, rebounded right there by Edinboro. And that's a foul against California, as that right there is Maggie Moore that went up for the shot. And that's gonna go against Precious Martin right there, her second foul of the night. As Maggie Moore is gonna go to the free throw stripe, just about 8 seconds left on the game, on the game clock, I apologize, in this second half. As that first free throw attempt by Maggie Moore didn't fall, second one gets the lucky roll as she gets her first point of the night. This makes it a 36-25 game. California brings it up, and that time Mickey Glenn will be fouled, as right just standing on the ground right there was Michelle Yawn, and Glenn ran right into her. She fell pretty hard to the court, gets up all right. And she's gonna go straight to the basket, as California's now in the bonus. Edinboro with 5 team fouls in this second quarter. Now Mickey Glenn's first shot is good. Brings her up to 13 points on the evening. Ties her with Agni Freeland for the most so far in this contest. And I apologize, I've been saying her name wrong. It is Anya Freeland, as Mickey Glenn makes both of her free throw attempts, gets her into the leading score category. 3 seconds left. Edinboro taking a shot, nowhere close. And that will send us to the end of the first half. California really doing a good job on both sides of the basketball, as they have controlled this one so far throughout. The scoreboard definitely reflects that. We'll see if they can't continue it once we get into the second half of action. So we'll see you after the break. California leading it so far 38-25. We'll have more for you here on CUTV once we're done with the half.
With Cal U's 6 on-campus residence halls and Vulcan Village's garden-style apartment complex, University Housing offers the very best value in service, convenience, privacy, and security. On-campus students will have easy access to classrooms, the newly renovated Natali Student Center, and a variety of activities across campus. University Housing Properties includes all utilities. Other common amenities to all properties are fully furnished rooms, high-def cable TV, high-speed Wi-Fi access, and live-in professional staff. Vulcan Village also includes a full kitchen and laundry room. The property has a 24/7 fitness center, convenient shuttle service, and an outdoor seasonal saltwater pool. Model rooms and tours are available. Stop in the University Housing office or contact us by phone or email to learn more.
And welcome back inside the Convocation Center here on the campus of California University of Pennsylvania, as the Vulcans are up right now 38-25 as we get set to start this second half of action. Let's take a look at some of the halftime stats so far from this one. California really has been in control of this game for the most part on offense and defense. You see their field goal percentages, and right there, the big difference, 3-point shots have fallen for California. They've only missed one free throw. And again, the big one right there, turnovers, 13 for the Fighting Scots. And then California has 8 steals as well, and that's where California really likes to work their game the best they possibly can, get those points off the turnovers, and so far in this one, they've done just that and hold a 13-point lead over Edinboro in this game so far, trying to avenge that last loss they took back in January against this same squad. As here's a couple of the highlights so far in this one. There's Mickey Glenn, who's been on fire so far for the Vulcans. She has 14 points through the first half, getting those layups and 3-point shots to fall. And then Shatara Parsons was also a spark at the beginning. And then for Edinboro, their main scorer so far has been Anya Freeland. She's been going straight to the basket and really getting those shots to fall underneath. So she has had a pretty good game, but overall Edinboro hanging in there. They've called a couple of timeouts near the end of the first half that helped them plan and get back into this just a little bit closer, as Coach Strom, of course, I'm sure excited about her team going into the playoffs, and she wants to finish on a strong note here tonight. As we are just about ready for action, as Edinboro is going to inbound it right in front of us, as Katie Fisher will get the inbounds and send it over to Lauren Hippo. She has it back now, goes over. It's Whitney Allen. She'll drive straight to the basket. That is going to go off the bottom of the rim, and California picks it back up. Quickly up to Parsons. Her layup attempt is going to fall, and on top of that, she is fouled. So Shatara Parsons going to go to the line for the Vulcans, as that foul was against number 20, Michelle Yawn, as she now has 3 on the night. 2 Edinboro players already at 3 fouls so far tonight. Michelle Yawn and Katie Fisher, 2 of their starters. As this ball bounces around 3 times, rebound is picked up by Sierra Barrett, and she gets the rebound. I don't know what Edinboro was doing there. They just weren't even paying attention, didn't get that rebound back, so better break for California. They get 4 points off of that play. Now this is brought up. Lauren Hippo straight to the basket. It falls. And she's finally on the score sheet. She didn't have any points up to this point in the contest, and she gets her first 2 right there. Glenn controls it. Gives it off and goes towards the basket. Sierra Barrett over to Paige Wright. Her shot rolls in and out, and it is gathered in by Edinboro through a scrum of bodies, and there's a big trip right there. That's going to be a call going against Precious Martin. She dove in trying to steal that away from Yawn, but she wasn't able to do that, and she kind of just ran into the player, made some contact. That is her 3rd foul, so she will check out right now for the Vulcans, as Edinboro brings this up the court. Now, down low, that pass is going to go out of bounds right there off of Morgan Jennings. So Edinboro is going to keep possession as they try to pass it around back and forth just a little bit right there. Now brought it in, Edinboro has it, Hippo. Tries to go towards the basket, really doesn't have a lane. Gives it over to Fisher. She gets her pass somehow to go to Freeland. Her shot no good, rebounded. Lost control of another shot, no good. That was all taken by Allen. Now Glenn goes down low to Barrett, easy layup for 2. Sierra Barrett into double digits in this contest. She has 10 on the evening. California now up 44-27. It's stolen away. Mickey Glenn gives it over to Wright and straight to the basket. Another easy layup right there. Paige Wright adding on to this lead as California just again staying in command of this game. And almost a steal right there again by Mickey Glenn. She's smiling right now. She's really reading these plays well against Edinboro. So with that, they're going to have to inbounds this once again. That goes to Freeland, and it's stolen away by Mickey Glenn. Straight up the court, gives it to Jennings. It was tipped on the way there, but she gathered it in, and Jennings gets 2 points up on the board. Again, California just rolling right now on a run as they've expanded this lead to 21 points. Yawn for three, no good, rebounded by Sierra Barrett. Quick up, Jennings tries to get it down low to Parsons. It's tipped away and gathered in by Edinboro. And Hippo has it, will slow it down as she gives it over to Fisher. Now Freeland guarded well by two defenders, but they're gonna call a foul right there against Morgan Jennings. Her second of the night as she bumped into Freeland as she was trying to make her way to the basket. It's now on the inbounds. It is gathered in by Freeland. Works her way around Parsons and gets the bank shot to go in. Anya Freeland with 15 on the night for Edinboro. This is Glenn. Dribbling around, loses it a little bit, but gathers it back in, and it's tipped out of bounds by Lauren Hippo right there. She was trying to prevent the pass going over to Jennings. And our cameraman down there, Ryan Kaufman, seeing a lot of action so far tonight down near his area. And we'll get another whistle right here as it's going to be a foul called against Mickey Glenn. She gets her second foul called against her tonight. Now this pass given over. And we'll get another whistle right here, and it is going to go against California once again. And Morgan Jennings is going to get called. Her third of the night. Off the inbounds, Edinboro gives it over to Fisher, has it. Down low to Freeland. Once again, they find her sitting underneath the basket for an easy 2 points as she's just dominated underneath of the basket tonight. And again, this is the recipe Edinboro did use the last time they played California. That shot is no good right there for Sierra Barrett. Rebounded and put back by Shatera Parsons. Good work right there to stick with the play. It's California with 5:50 remaining in this third quarter. Still holding on to a 19-point lead now. Fisher passing it out, and then down low will get a whistle away from the ball. And that is on Shatera Parsons, as it looks like she might have grabbed just a little too much jersey as she was trying to defend against Freeland, trying to figure out a way to make that work here tonight. So Freeland will go to the line as California already has 5 team fouls in this third quarter. A long ways to go as well. A little over 5 minutes still remain. And the first shot attempt there as well by Freeland was no good. She's been able to make that work tonight as far as getting the shots to fall in the layup category, but no dice on the free throws, but Edinboro picks up the rebound. She goes straight to the basket, but she gets called right there on the travel. Just one too many steps. California will inbound this. Wright gives it over. Sierra Barrett gives it to Parsons. Really awkward way to the basket. She was trying to force her way home right there, but she gets fouled. And that's going to go against Anya Freeland, and she only has 1 foul tonight. That's her first misconduct, if you will. So California really should try to maybe go after her as we go through the rest of this game. Maybe try to get her to foul out, even though they are in a commanding lead. She is a big reason why Edinboro is still holding on just enough in this game. Both shots by Parsons do not fall, so Edinboro will bring it back up off the foul. This is Fisher. Gives it over. Down the baseline right there goes Yawn. She can't find a way. This is tipped and stolen away by the Vulcans. Brought up Glenn. That one goes off a foot. They're going to call a kickball violation. So California will retain possession. But we will take our third immediate timeout of this contest. California, of course, still holding on to a very, very decent lead. And we're going to take a look right now real quick at the stat rankings in the PSAC between these two squads. We showed you the standings earlier, how close they are, regional rankings, PSAC West standings. Well, there's the stat ranking, and it kind of reflects that. California at the top of the pack right there, especially when it comes to scoring margin, first in the PSAC, and then of course Edinboro, just a solid categories on all down the line. You know, 6th in scoring, 7th on the other two as well. And California just moved into first, by the way, in that scoring margin category. As we'll see some of these highlights, California, of course, still holding on to that fire and that dominance they ended the first half with, as they've done a very good job keeping the momentum. I mean, Edinboro's had their chances moving forward throughout this game. Of course, Freeland's been a big part of that, but California still holding on to a good lead. And we're going to have a quick score update for you. Of course, a pretty important game in the PSAC West, as Seton Hill right now up 39-37 against IUP with 3:18 left in the third quarter. And an IUP loss would give us, the Vulcans that is, #1 no matter what happens. So that would be a big win if Seton Hill could pull it off if you're a Vulcans fan. So Barrett off the inbounds will take a shot once again from the foul line for 2. She is good on that. 12 on the evening. Edinboro just cannot right now find an answer for this California squad. And they'll pass it around the key. It's tipped and stolen away once again by the Vulcans. Barrett going to the basket, thought about passing it back out. It's stolen away. Edinboro has it back. And down low to Freeland, no chance of stopping her right there. 2 more points as she is very, very close to closing in on 20 on the evening. So now the Vulcans have it. Parsons back out to right and back to Glenn. She found her way, and she was fouled as she went up for the shot. She has 16 points on the night now. She's going to get a chance to add more. And here we'll see the replay. She goes straight to the basket and is knocked down right there by Nicole Johnson. Of course, Johnson has quite a bit of size on Mickey Glenn, but she does not really care. It seems like she'll go to the basket one way or the other to try to get those points for her team. And her shot, first shot attempt is no good. Ball is going to go out of bounds, and it's going to be Edinboro's ball, tipped off of a Vulcan on the way out. Katie Fisher drives straight to the basket, and her shot is up and good. So Fisher trying to create something for the Fighting Scots as we get towards the back half of this third quarter. Suckling, the new player on the court for the Vulcans, has it, gives it over to Paige Wright. And there's a foul called right there, I believe. And it will go against Shatera Parsons for the Vulcans, her 3rd of the night. And Edinboro is going to go actually to the line right here because of that foul, because California, again, we mentioned it just a little bit earlier, their team fouls already up to 6 in this third quarter. So they are giving Edinboro chances to shoot free throws and maybe get back into this just a little bit. As Whitney Allen's first free throw shot did not fall. So her second one is in and out, no good. Just can't get anything to fall right now if you're the Fighting Scots. Sometimes the luck just doesn't roll your way, and tonight it's been a rough go of it for them. Nikki Glenn driving against 3 Edinboro players, no good. Her shot was rebounded by Precious Martin, and she is fouled as she went up to take that shot on the rebound, as it is Lauren Hippo taking her first foul, as Edinboro now, as a team, up to 4 team fouls. So another one for them, and they'll send California into the bonus. We're down to 3 minutes left in this third quarter. Precious Martin, of course, making her first one there, and her second as well goes in. So Precious Martin adding to her point total tonight, up to 7 now, as California still again at 21-point lead, looming large over Edinboro right now. And there's a pass down low. Freeland, you can't stop her, it seems like, as she gets another layup for 2. And now she has 21 points tonight. And Edinboro, as a team, has 37. So that pretty much emphasizes how important Freeland has been for Edinboro tonight to even be in this contest. And there's a beautiful play right there. What a play. Precious Martin faking the pass and going to the basket instead. She now has 9 on the evening. This one's dribbled out by Hippo. And then back over. This time the shot is up and out. That one was Fisher's three-point attempt. Brought back in by Edinboro, and we'll get another foul call here. And that's going to be on Precious Martin. So that will probably see Precious Martin go out of this contest with her 4th foul of the night already here in this third quarter. There's the first shot by Allen, is no good. The different shooting motion that she has right there. So we'll see Morgan Jennings check in here for the Vulcans, as the second shot does fall for Allen, and she gets her first point of the night finally on the score sheet. Nikki Glenn passes it over to Sierra Barrett. Right handles it over to Jennings. Jennings gives it to Barrett. A little awkward layup, a try right there. Almost made it go, as Edinboro will bring it up the court. And that shot down and good. Anya Freeland, 23. And it's stolen away by Edinboro, but back to California. A little bit of a fumble with the ball, both sides. Almost looks like a cycle almost you would see in a hockey game possibly. You don't know where that ball's going. Went back and forth, before it's picked back up by the Vulcans. And now it's lost right here. We'll get a jump ball. The possession is going to favor California, so lucky for Mickey Glenn, she doesn't have to worry about losing that ball, as California will retain possession. Here's the inbounds. Sierra Barrett back over to Glenn. Dribbling around, can't find anywhere to go with it. Paige Wright thought about 3, gives it to Sierra Barrett. Look at that little swirl on top, why not? Gets it into the basket. Sierra Barrett getting those rolls tonight. She has 14. As we've reached underneath a minute left in this third quarter. Shot no good at all right there for Edinboro. As Mickey Glenn, quick up, Barrett underneath the Jennings, wide open. Her shot doesn't go though, a little too much. She may have heard footsteps as she was getting ready to attempt that shot, as this shot blocked by Barrett but put back by Freeland. 25 points for her as we hit 25 seconds, final possession, but Edinboro steals it away. Brought up, and it is a good shot by Fisher. So Edinboro going on a little bit of a run to start this one, as we'll get a whistle right here. And a foul on California, it seems. Oh, I'm sorry, that was not a foul at all. That ball was knocked out of bounds off of the inbounds, as Edinboro's playing a little bit more of a press, I guess, a little bit. They have a one player up, trying to defend against that inbound. 10 seconds left on the third quarter. Mickey Glenn bringing it up. Pass it out. Jennings for an open three. No good. Picked up by Edinboro. We'll see if Fisher can't get a shot off. And she airballs it out. So that will bring us to the end of the third quarter. It's been back and forth, but California still holding a 60-44 lead. We'll have the fourth quarter for you up next on CUTV.
With Cal U's 6 on-campus residence halls and Vulcan Village's garden-style apartment complex, University Housing offers the very best value in service, convenience, privacy, and security. On-campus students will have easy access to classrooms, the newly renovated Natali Student Center, and a variety of activities across campus. University Housing Properties includes all utilities. Other common amenities to all properties are fully furnished rooms, high-def cable TV, high-speed Wi-Fi access, and live-in professional staff. Vulcan Village also includes a full kitchen and laundry room. The property has a 24/7 fitness center, convenient shuttle service, and an outdoor seasonal saltwater pool. Model rooms and tours are available. Stop in the University Housing office or contact us by phone or email to learn more.
Welcome inside the Convocation Centers. We're back here for the fourth quarter. And just a quick score update for you. You see the Vulcans in command right there. Seton Hill up 49-39 on IUP as they are just starting their fourth quarter of action. So once again, just to emphasize the point, if IUP loses, no matter what happens here tonight for California, the Vulcans will lock up the first spot in the playoffs, guaranteed. So good to see Seton Hill in command there as the Vulcans are doing the same against Edinboro. Edinboro making a little bit of a surge here of late though, so we'll see what happens. As Fisher loses that ball, she flops out of bounds, trying to steal that one back as she lost the handle, but to no avail. So the Vulcans will retain the possession off of that. On inbounds, it is almost stolen away by Edinboro right there. Again, Fisher in to try to steal that away right in front of me here, actually. But California will hold possession. They're playing more of a full court press, trying to get those turnovers off inbounds. Jennings has it for the Vulcans as she gives it over to Mickey Glenn. Page right. Down over. That shot is no good, but on the play, Morgan Jennings was fouled. California's bench happy about that, and it was a shooting foul, so she will head to the line. As Anya Freeland takes her second foul of the night. As Morgan Jennings gets the first free throw shot to fall. Shooting about 68% from that spot this season. She adds 2 more to that percentage. So this goes over to Edinboro. Sion giving it over to Fisher. Dribbles and a little bit of an errant pass, just too high over top the head of Freeland. They're not going to say it went off a Vulcan either. So California will get possession off of this. Well, a little bit of rainbow passing right here as Shatara Parsons was wide open underneath the basket. 2 points for her right there. She now sitting at 14 on the night for Shatara Parsons. This is over there. Yawn has it guarded well. A little bit fast-paced defense for the Vulcans. Shot up by Freeland, no good, and picked up by Sierra Barrett. Mickey Glenn going to the basket. She is fouled fairly hard as she went to the bucket. That one's going to go against Katie Fisher. That is her 4th on the evening, so we may or may not see her check out of this contest for a little bit, but the way things are looking, Edinboro might decide to keep one of their better players on the court.
Looks like California's going to get the first
And Mickey Glenn's first shot is up and good. Mickey Glenn adding to her point total, 17 so far in this contest. Second shot is good, so Mickey Glenn just adding to this lead, which is now spread out to 22. And we're gonna see Whitney Allen actually check out of this contest for Edinboro. So they are going to keep one of their better players, Katie Fisher, junior from locally here, close by Cal and Ambridge, will stay on the court. This is Yawn going to the basket right off the back of the bucket. And there's a scramble for the ball. Yawn loses possession. It's going to go out of bounds. They last say off of a Fighting Scott. And so California really getting the bounces to fall their way tonight. They'll have to clean up the floor just a little bit here before they decide to inbound it. And Sierra Bear will inbound it to Mickey Glenn, who uses that speed and shiftiness to get up the court. Sierra Barrett back over to Mickey Glenn. California can afford to definitely slow things down just a little bit here in this contest. Wright thought about three, no dice, tries to pass it back out, but she turns it over. And this is Fisher. Fisher waiting for something to open up, decides to pass it over. Goes straight to the basket, no good. It is rebounded by Parsons. Had to get the handle on that thing, and she was able to do just that. Brought up, Paige Wright open for three. It is just off the inside of the basket. No good, and Mickey Glenn will get the ball right back into her hands. And we are gonna get a foul called right there as Mickey Glenn fell straight to the court. She looked like she lost her footing just a bit, but that's still gonna go against Michelle Yawn. She now has 4 on the evening, so 2 players for the Fighting Scots in danger of fouling out of this contest already. 7:39 still to play in this game. And California goes all the way over Parsons, goes straight towards the foul line. Her shot no good and rebounded by Edinboro. Here's a long three-point attempt shot by Yawn, no good. She tries to get her own rebound. Glenn was going up for it as well. So we'll get a whistle right here. And they're gonna call this foul on Yawn actually right there. And that is the final foul that Michelle Yawn can give. She has fouled out of this contest with her 5th. Edinboro can't believe it. They really don't believe that foul should have went against her. They believe it should have went against Glenn. But nonetheless, that's one less player on the bench now for Edinboro, one of their better players and starters. As Mickey Glenn will bring it up for the Vulcans. Now that's swatted down right there by Edinboro. Picked right back up though by Parsons. And she gets fouled. We'll see who this may go against here. And that is going against Whitney Allen, who has 2 on the night. So that will send Shatara Parsons to the free throw stripe. They're trying to get a few things straight there with the referees at the ref's table. And California, again, just in command of this game so far. 6:58 remaining in it. They're already up by 22, so you can imagine they will try to slow the pace down and really just defend well the rest of the way down the line against Edinboro. Shatara Parsons, of course, at the line. Not the best free throw shooter on the team, right around 42%, but she makes her first and airballs the second as it'll go out of bounds and give Edinboro the ball right back. As they will try to do their best now to produce something on offense here. Bringing it up, it's Allen. It's a screen right there from Freeland, passes it down low. As Freeland moves back off the screen, that is swatted back by Parsons, and California picks up the ball after it was bobbled around a little bit right there. This is Mickey Glenn. See on the side right there, Allison Thompson about ready to check in for the Fighting Scots. Glenn thought about 3, but decided not to. Page right. Gives it over to Glenn, gives it over to Barrett for 2, and she gets that shot to fall. Sierra Barrett, give her 16 on the night as she is second on the team, just ahead of Shatara Parsons, who has the 15 points. Freeland. Back over, Fisher, taking her time, trying to set something up. And that one's tipped off the hand right there of Johnson. It'll go out of bounds, so California will get possession. As we see 2 players check in. Of course, Allison Thompson and Maggie Moore back into this contest for Edinboro, as they have not been able to score any points as of late, as Freeland has actually been held in check over the last few minutes of this 4th quarter. I'm trying to figure out a couple of substitution errors right here, and it looks like, based off of what I have here on my score sheet, Edinboro has pulled every single one of their starters now with those changes, so they pretty much have going to let their bench take this one over in the final 5:40 of the contest. Jennings gives it over to Mickey Glenn, out to Page right. A little bit of a passing cycle going as Sierra Barrett shot again. Just barely getting it up high enough, but it rolls around and goes in for the Vulcans, as they've reached 71 points on the night. There's some passing down low. We're going to get a whistle right here, and a foul call against California. That's their first one of the 4th quarter as a team. That'll go against Mickey Glenn, her 3rd of the night. So California almost halfway through this 4th quarter doing a good job as a team of not really taking any fouls. After the 3rd quarter, they had 5 team fouls with about 6 minutes remaining in that quarter. Now here's off the inbounds, a shot, and it's good for Maggie Moore, first field goal of the night. Another quick score update for you in that Seton Hill IUP game. Seton Hill in command right now, 64-45, 3:51 remaining. So California looking like either way, they have locked up that first spot in the playoff. And they'll be hosting the PSAC #1 off of their bye. Next, coming up here, their next game, of course, will be Tuesday. So be ready for that matchup as the playoffs will start underway. As we just got a 3-point shot that fell for Emily Suckling for the Vulcans, as she has her first points of the night. Edinboro going to try for a 3-pointer. No good. California picks it up, as Edinboro just cannot find a shot to fall, as California has pretty well solidified their dominance in this game, as there's another 3-point shot attempt that is no good that time, though, for Suckling. Edinboro with a chance to bring it up. Straight to the basket. Good aggressive style by Brandy Merritt. She gets 2 points. And the next stoppage here will be the final media time out of this contest, as we're going to get a foul called right there. 2 shots coming, as Edinboro, of course, already up to 5 team fouls, as that was Shatara Parsons getting fouled. And we have reached our final media timeout, and we're gonna show you all our different social media outlets that we could possibly get in contact with us as CUTV. We got a lot of different things. We got YouTube as our first one, as CUTV Sports 1 is the title you want to look up on YouTube. You can check out any of our past shoots across the sports medium, from football to basketball, and also check out CUTV News Center. You can see any of the news centers that we do or any coverage that we might have for you. And another great way to show support for us is on Facebook, California University Television. Give us a like. One of our announcers, Anthony DiAugustino, down with a sickness here tonight, wasn't able to make it, but he is a big Facebook guy, so it's a great way. Once again, just give us a like. We'll let you know what we're doing as far as shoots and anything else like that goes, and you can give us any feedback. And there's a shot of the football team, California football team, out showing their support tonight. Twitter, I'm sure they found it on Twitter that we were having a game tonight. Another way to keep in contact with CUTV, CUTV_PA. We like to tweet out where we're at, what we're doing, and it's a great way once again to get feedback from all of those that follow us here at CUTV. So off of this media timeout, of course, Shatara Parsons is going to go to the line and take her free throw shots. Her first one is no good, and again, Shatara Parsons, just a couple of the stats, I guess. This is a great offensive output for California, as Weiss is going to check in for the Vulcans. Good to see her get some action, though, at the end of this contest. But Shatara Parsons sitting right now at 15 points. Sierra Bear with 18. Mickey Glenn with 18. And of course, Shatara Parsons, update that just now. She has 15 on the night. So California, some of their fans giving them a little bit of a round of applause behind the bench. Really happy with the way this team has played tonight. The defending champions really showing why they deserve to be that first spot in the playoffs so far throughout this season, as that ball goes out of bounds and it'll be California's possession. As again, Edinboro's bench players all getting a chance for some action tonight here in the last little bit of this contest, so they get a chance to hone their skills against one of the better teams in the PSAC. Precious Martin passes it around. Emily Suckling gets that swatted out of her hands, but a lucky break. Barrett picks it up, goes to Weiss, as she is fouled going in towards the basket. And this shot, or this foul right here is going to go against Moore. And Sammy Weiss will go to the free throw line, of course. Local products from Avella, Pennsylvania, a freshman. She misses her first free throw attempt. And again, California pretty well. I know there's 3:19 left in this game, pretty well in a commanding fashion, holding on to that lead, just trying to get through the last 3:15 of this game and maybe celebrate a little bit after this one to getting into the playoffs as the first seed overall, as we'll get a whistle right here. There's going to be a foul called against California. That is against Sierra Barrett, her third of the night. She's one of the only starters still on the court for California at this point. Her and Mickey Glenn still out there, as well as actually Precious Martin on the court as well. And that was Lindsay that had it for Edinboro. Gives it over to Merritt. She tries to take a shot that's no good and rebounded by Mickey Glenn, as Merritt fell down pretty hard to the court off of that shot. Suckling has it in the far wing. Waiting, finds Precious Martin open. To Sierra Barrett. Suckling kind of running the offense on the top of the key. As Weiss has it, gets good control of the ball. Shot no good, and it is rebounded by Edinboro. As the Vulcans running out of time there on the shot clock. Merritt going to the basket, a little in and out right there, but her teammate had her back right there, as that was Moore putting that shot back. And there will be a foul called right there on Merritt as she was trying to defend against that inbound, so that'll send California straight to the free throw line. We'll see who gets a chance to go to the line. That will be Mickey Glenn, a chance to reach 20 points on the evening. She's tied right now with Sierra Barrett with 18 points, and she's the defending player of the week. So she's trying to defend that title as well here against Edinboro. And her first shot is good. Gives her 19 on the evening, as Sierra Barrett is going to sub out in favor of Morgan Jennings. She'll get the chance to go on the court again. Second shot attempt upcoming here from Mickey Glenn is going to be up, and it is in and out, no good. A rare miss right there for Mickey Glenn, so she is just shy of 20 points tonight. Now Merritt will cycle passing right there for Edinboro as they wheel it around the top of the key. Shot's going to go up right there for Yawn. It's no good, and we'll get a whistle. Foul against California. As Morgan Jennings just checked into this one, and she takes her fourth foul of the night. So nobody has fouled out quite yet for California. Precious Martin and Jennings both have 4. With 2 minutes left in this contest, they can still get a chance to stay out there and play, as the first shot attempt right there for Yon is no good on the season. Shooting roughly about half, 53.8% from the free throw stripe. As again, she is the junior with her sibling Michelle Yon, who has fouled out of this one on the team, the freshman. As both shot attempts no good, as we'll get another whistle right here. And another foul on Jennings, and she is going to be fouled out of this contest with that foul. So 2 consecutive fouls for her will end her night. That'll bring Shatera Parsons back into the contest for California. And a nice round of applause right there for Morgan Jennings as she came off the court, as that inbounds is going to be collected in for California. There's a wide open for Weiss for 3, and she makes it fall. Sammy Weiss coming in off the bench, getting a big 3-point shot to fall. As California has really opened this up, 80-50 right now over Edinboro, and I'm sure they're feeling great. Getting a little bit of revenge after that loss to Edinboro back in January, the last loss this team took in this regular season. Now Edinboro trying to find a way. Shot clock down to 3. It's stolen away by Parsons. Nikki Glenn will bring it up the court as time is expiring here, 1:10 left. And just a quick note, finally, on that Seton Hill IUP game, we have a final score. Seton Hill 68-54 over IUP. So that locks up California in the #1 spot in the PSAC playoffs. Next Tuesday at Hamer Hall, we'll have that first playoff game for the Vulcans. They have a bye this Saturday. It's most likely going to be at 7 o'clock, but keep an eye on calvulcans.com. We'll keep you informed as to when that game will be, and we'd love to see as much of the Cal U student body come out as possible, because that place can get very loud and raucous, and we'd love to see it like we did last year as the Vulcans made their run to the title. And the first shot off the foul right there, as we do still have action going on here. Shatera Parsons missed the first one, made her second, gives her 16 points on the night, as we have just gone under a minute in this contest, as Edinboro got a scratch and claw away to get maybe a few more points in this one. There's a good way to do it, as Maggie Moore got 2 on the layup, and now Mickey Glenn gonna come up the court slowly but surely and try maybe to waste a little bit of this time. Suckling loses the handle on it as she tried to get it to Weiss. And we're gonna get a whistle right here. And that's gonna be a foul against Melanie Lindsay, her first of the night. I apologize, her second of the night. She took one earlier on, right before the media timeout against Parsons. Now Weiss, first shot is good. She hits 5 points on the night. And for the freshman, that is a career high in points in a game, 5 points. And why not, let's make it 6. Sammy Weiss contributing here near the end of this one for the Vulcans. There is a 4-second difference between shot and game clock as Edinboro brings up the ball. And that one is no good and picked back up by the Vulcans, and they now can hold for last possession as California is going to avenge the loss they took last January against Edinboro as they end the regular season on a very, very high note, as they're going to win this contest here tonight, and also with, of course, the Seton Hill win, an IUP loss. Either way, the Vulcans are locked in to that first spot in the PSAC playoffs. The final score from this one tonight, 83-52. It definitely was a dominant showing, and once again, to everybody out there watching and to the student body here at California University, next Tuesday at Hamer Hall, most likely 7 o'clock. We'll let you know otherwise. Be ready, be out there for that game. We want to hear that place be as loud as possible as we try to get California onto, hopefully, another title. And there is the next coming broadcast we'll be covering, of course, going in for CUTV March 1. We'll get this PSAC second round, the 5th is the semifinal, and it goes on from there. So stay tuned. We got a lot of great playoff action coming up for you. For myself, Damon Matson, for my director back in the truck, Gary Smith, and the entire crew here tonight. We thank you for joining in and watching this one with us as the Vulcans dispatch the Edinboro Fighting Scots by a final score of 83 to 51. Thank you for joining. We'll see you next time.